everyone. Grab a cup of tea and get comfortable. I'm already holding mine, though it's probably way too hot to drink yet. How are you feeling today, George?
I'm good. I'm watching you hover your fingertips over that cup like you're negotiating peace with it. It's just tea, you know?
It betrayed me last week. I took one sip and burned my tongue so badly I couldn't taste anything for hours. Anyway, welcome back, everyone. We've missed you.
We really have. Every time we come back to this cozy little studio, I imagine all of you listening from your kitchens or sofas, maybe nodding, maybe rolling your eyes at my jokes.
Mostly rolling their eyes, I think.
As long as they're listening.
All right, today we want to talk about something lots of you ask us about: how to sound natural. How to speak English in a way that feels real, comfortable, like you're not translating in your head every 2 seconds.
And honestly, it's such a beautiful topic because it's not just about grammar. It's about confidence, connection, emotion.
And courage. Don't forget courage. Speaking a second language out loud with people listening is brave. Every learner deserves credit for that.
Exactly. And before we dive in, a little reminder. If you enjoy natural English conversations like this, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us keep creating for you. And it helps me justify buying more fancy tea for the studio. No, but I like the smell. It makes me feel intellectual.
All right, let's get into it. So, George, what's one of the first things you think about when you hear the phrase sounding like a native?
Honestly, rhythm. English isn't only words, it's the music of the language. When people say native-like, they often mean natural pauses, softer linking between words, a sense of flow, not rushing, not stopping in strange places.
Yes, and also the way we use fillers. I know learners often feel guilty about using them, but fillers help you sound relaxed. You know, the little things like, I mean, kinda, or something, let's say, to be honest, the thing is, all those softeners.
And at the end of the day, don't forget that one.
That one is very you. You say it every week.
I do. It's a classic. And here's the thing. Fillers don't make you sound less smart. They make you sound human. They give your brain a second to breathe.
Exactly. And something else people sometimes forget is that native speakers make mistakes too. We restart sentences, we change our minds halfway through, we say like 3 times in a row without even noticing.
You say it 5 times.
Rude, but yes, guilty. And that's fine, because natural speech isn't perfect. It's alive, it moves.
And when learners try to speak in perfectly formed textbook sentences, it sounds, well, a little stiff, a little unnatural.
Like wearing a suit at the beach.
Yes, exactly that.
So maybe we can start with something simple: linking, connecting words so they don't sound separate. For example, instead of I want to talk about something, you say I want to talk about something. Softer, smoother.
And before anyone panics, no, wanna isn't slang. It's just relaxed spoken English, perfectly normal.
And speaking of normal, one of my favorite natural expressions is by the way. It opens little doors in conversation.
A powerful tool, actually. If you're speaking and you want to change direction slightly or add a detail, by the way, it's like turning the steering wheel gently.
And when we teach these expressions in class, learners often ask, but when should I use them? What's the exact rule? And I always say, Feel it. Listen to conversations. Notice when native speakers use them. Don't look for mathematical formulas.
English isn't designed like that. It's closer to cooking than chemistry. You taste, adjust, mix, adapt.
That's a beautiful way to describe it.
Thank you. I try.
Another thing we should talk about is the emotional side, because speaking naturally also means letting yourself sound like, well, yourself. If you're excited, sound excited. If you're tired, that's okay too. You don't have to turn into a robot just because you're using a foreign language.
Absolutely. When people focus too much on correctness, they lose a bit of their personality. And that's a shame because personality is part of fluency. If you're a funny person in your native language, let yourself be funny in English too.
So you're saying you're fluent in humor?
Tragically, yes.
I walked into that one. Something else that helps: listening a lot. Not just studying, but listening to real people, podcasts, movies, conversations, even background chatter on the bus. It trains your ear. You start to recognize patterns, melodies.
And you can imitate what you hear. Shadowing is great. Listening and repeating at the same time. Not to copy the accent, but to copy the flow.
And expressions, because honestly, half of sounding natural is knowing the little things people say without thinking. Like, no worries, sounds good, fair enough, give it a try, not a big deal. These tiny phrases are gold.
And learners often tell me, but I know these. And I say, yes, but do you use them? There's a big difference.
Exactly. Passive knowledge isn't active fluency. I had a student once, he knew hundreds of expressions from TV shows, but he never used any of them because he was afraid he'd sound too informal. And I thought, but informal is the whole point. English lives in informality.
And also in small talk. I know many learners dislike small talk, but it's a bridge. 2 minutes of chatting about weather or weekend plans makes space for deeper conversation later.
And there's something sweet about small talk. It's two humans saying, hey, let's connect, even if the topic is silly.
Speaking of which, do you want to share that story about your neighbor?
Oh, no. Yes, so I have this new neighbor, very talkative, sweet but talkative. Every time I meet him in the elevator, he gives me a full report on his cat's emotional state. And the cat has a different emotional crisis every day.
A complex creature.
Very. And I always say something like, oh, wow, really? Or, poor thing. Or, hope she feels better soon. And that's the thing. Small talk doesn't require philosophy, just empathy.
And those reactions. Oh, wow. Seriously? No way. Those are fantastic natural expressions, too.
Yes, they bring life to your speech. They show you're listening.
Which is another point. Natural English isn't only about speaking. It's about responding, showing you're part of the conversation.
And letting it flow, not controlling every second. Sometimes a conversation grows into a completely unexpected direction, and that's wonderful.
Like right now, we were supposed to talk about sounding native, and now we're psychoanalyzing my neighbor's cat.
It's connected. Everything is connected if you have enough imagination.
All right, let's bring it back a bit. Another thing that helps people sound natural is learning to paraphrase. When you don't know a word, don't freeze. Just describe it. Say something like, it's kind of like, or how do you call it? Or the thing you use to... These little bridges help you stay fluent.
Exactly. Fluency is not knowing everything. It's continuing even when you don't know something. Yes, learners think native speakers know all the words. We don't. Sometimes I forget the simplest word and just say the thingy and wave my hands around dramatically.
I can confirm this happens.
It does.
And one last big idea, emotional honesty. If you're confused, say, I'm not sure I get what you mean. If you need repetition, say, could you say that again? These aren't signs of weakness, they're normal parts of communication.
And using them makes you sound confident and authentic.
Exactly.
I love this topic. I could talk about it for hours.
That's why we had to plan an episode. Otherwise, you really would talk for hours.
True.
So, where do you want to take this conversation next?
Maybe into something deeper. Why natural speech feels so good. Why we want to sound natural in another language.
Good idea, because there's a reason behind the goal.
I think deep down, we don't just want to communicate. We want to belong, to feel part of something. When you speak naturally, you feel like you're standing inside the language, not knocking on the door from outside.
Beautifully said.
And it's such a human desire, right? To feel connected, to feel like people see you, the real you, even through another language.
Yes. And you don't need perfect grammar for that. You need presence, warmth, curiosity. That's what makes conversations feel alive.
And that's why I always tell learners, focus less on, will I make a mistake? And more on, can this person understand how I feel right now?
Because people don't remember your mistakes, they remember your energy, your kindness, your enthusiasm.
Exactly. And that's one reason natural English includes those soft sounds. The uh-huh, oh, really? They show your emotional presence.
And they make the person you're talking to feel heard. Even simple things like, right? Or make sense help keep the conversation moving.
Speaking of which, here's another extremely natural tool: unfinished sentences. I know this sounds crazy for learners, but native speakers do it all the time.
Constantly, we start a sentence, then change direction halfway. So the thing I wanted to actually, never mind. Let me start again.
It's like our brains are messy kitchens, and we're cooking while running around.
Accurate. But that messiness is human. It's normal. And when learners stop trying to hide it, they suddenly sound more natural.
And more relaxed, and more themselves.
Exactly. Let's maybe give some examples of how learners can practice this. For instance, shadowing, like you mentioned.
Yes, but also speaking to yourself, narrating what you're doing. Like, okay, I'm gonna grab my keys. Where did I put them? Oh, wait, here. It sounds silly, but it's powerful.
Or recording yourself speaking for 2 minutes every day. Not to judge yourself, but to notice patterns. You make progress faster when you're aware of your natural rhythm.
And you can even imitate characters you like in movies, not copying their accent, copying their energy, their vibe, their style.
And the way they use expressions, like, as far as I know, more or less, you could say, or from time to time. Those are extremely natural.
Yes, especially from time to time. It's like the friend of every English speaker. We use it constantly.
It's true. And another thing that helps a lot is embracing variety. Natural English isn't just one way of speaking. It's millions of voices.
Yes, English is a global language. There's no single correct native accent. If you speak with confidence and clarity, your English is valid
And beautiful.
and unique. So don't aim to erase your identity. Aim to express it naturally.
Well said. And maybe we can talk a little about speed, because many learners think if I speak fast, I'll sound native. But actually,
They'll sound stressed.
No, but I like the smell. It makes me feel intellectual.
All right, let's get into it. So, George, what's one of the first things you think about when you hear the phrase sounding like a native?
Honestly, rhythm. English isn't only words, it's the music of the language. When people say native-like, they often mean natural pauses, softer linking between words, a sense of flow, not rushing, not stopping in strange places.
Yes, and also the way we use fillers. I know learners often feel guilty about using them, but fillers help you sound relaxed. The little things like, I mean, kinda, or something, let's say, to be honest, the thing is, all those softeners.
And at the end of the day, don't forget that one.
That one is very you. You say it every week.
I do. It's a classic. And here's the thing, fillers don't make you sound less smart. They make you sound human. They give your brain a second to breathe.
Exactly. And something else people sometimes forget is that native speakers make mistakes too. We restart sentences, we change our minds halfway through, we say like 3 times in a row without even noticing.
You say it 5 times.
Rude, but yes, guilty. And that's fine, because natural speech isn't perfect. It's alive, it moves. And sometimes people say, but it's not logical. Why say a little if you're actually very tired? And I say, because English is emotional before logical.
That's very true.
All right, let's do something fun. Let's act out a mini natural conversation, just to show how all these little elements work. No pressure, just something casual.
Okay, let's do it. What's the topic?
Let's say ordering coffee.
All right, so
We'll just show the pretending shy. Hi, sorry, I'm not sure what I want.
no worries at all. Take your time.
Okay, what's the difference between a latte and a flat white?
Well, they're kind of similar, you know? Flat white is a bit stronger.
Ah, okay, got it. So I'll go with the flat white then.
Sounds good. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thanks.
And there you go. Natural, relaxed, simple. Lots of small expressions, lots of softeners.
And real emotional tone, not robotic.
Exactly.
And this is important. Sounding natural is not a performance, it's connection.
And learning to connect through another language is one of the most beautiful skills a person can have.
I love that. Yes.
So, where are we in our conversation timeline? Are we heading toward the reflective part?
Yes, I feel it. We're getting sentimental.
Happens every time.
It's the tea. It influences the emotions.
You haven't even drunk it yet.
True. But it's warm. The warmth is enough. Pause, thoughtful. When I think about natural English, I think about trust. Trusting yourself. Trusting people to be patient. Trusting that communication is more than perfect words.
In trusting that people want to understand you.
Yes. Maybe that's the heart of it. When you stop fighting the language, it starts opening to you.
That's a beautiful way to end this part.
When learners ask me how to sound more natural, I always want to tell them, relax into the language. Don't force it. Don't try to sound perfect. Try to sound present. Because presence is what people really hear.
Yes, presence and emotion. You don't need flawless grammar to connect with someone. You need warmth, curiosity, a bit of courage, and maybe a few dead expressions in your pocket.
And a sense of humor. Humor opens doors. Even a small joke, a tiny little, I tried, but I failed smile, it makes the conversation lighter.
And that's the magic of natural English. It's human, it's alive, it's messy, it's warm. And that's why it feels so good when you start to feel at home in it.
What about you? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, I guess it's time to wrap this up. Though honestly, I could keep talking for another hour.
And I would bravely survive it.
I'm sure you would. But let's finish with something helpful. Maybe a quick look back at some of the expressions we used today.
Good idea. We had, kinda, by the way, as far as I know. Sounds good. Give it a try. From time to time, fair enough, more or less, at the end of the day.
And also, no worries. I'm not sure I get what you mean. The thing is, you could say, it's kind of like all those natural, soft little bridges.
Exactly. They're small, but together they make your English smoother and more authentic.
And I want to remind everyone listening, you don't need to memorize everything at once. Just pick one or two phrases you like. Try them this week. Let them become yours.
Little steps. That's how fluency grows. Quietly, steadily, almost invisibly.
And we're really glad you're on this journey with us.
We are. And hey, if you like this episode, subscribe, leave a like, and share it. It really helps our little studio grow.
Okay, that's a wrap.
You just wanted to say that, didn't you? See you next time.